Good day, everyone. This is Pilot Needles, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at lasers in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going?
Hello there, Drac. How are things going on in Barovia?
Same Barovia, same day, same mist, same day.
Same day.
I thought this year was going to be better, but nope.
Well, it won't be Barovia without it being like it always is, isn't it?
That is true. Yes. Happy Groundhog's Day, by the way, if you celebrate that kind of thing.
If you celebrate that kind of thing.
I mean, if you're into Groundhog's Day, there you go.
It is a rather strange tradition.
We have Groundhog's Day in Barovia, believe it or not.
How do they see their shadow with all the mist?
See, that's the thing. Ours is a lot different. Ours is with the dire wolf, and it never sees their shadow. It just eats people. So it depends how many Vistani it eats, and then that's how long the winter will be. So if it eats three Vistani, it's 3 more weeks of winter.
Oh, 1 more week per Vistani that it eats.
Exactly. So ours is way different here, and ours is dire wolf day, but it's fine.
I certainly don't want to know what Mardi Gras is like in Barovia.
You don't want to know.
You don't want to know. Then let's head over into our news for this week, where we have what is purported to be a producer's letter.
Sure. In the title of it, it's a producer's letter.
Yeah, it does say that in the title.
That's about all. I don't know what this is, but yeah. So it's here. Yay. Producer's letter, sort of. Kind of.
You don't sound enthused.
well, it's different. Let's just get into it. Here we go. Producer's letter, January 2023. I would call it more of a developmental roadmap than a producer's letter, but sure, we'll go with semantics. We'll call it a producer's letter. It does start out with a developmental roadmap, and then we do get more of a couple paragraphs in a letter, but again, semantics. Q1, we're going to have the Snow Peaks Festival, which has already started. Update 58, Unlikely Heroes. The 17th anniversary, which can we just take a minute to say, congratulations, DDO, for 17 years. That's freaking amazing is what that is.
Yeah, just think of it, that the cicadas that were laid down 17 years ago are now about to come up.
Sure.
So this game has survived through an entire cicada cycle.
That is the most pine leafy thing you have ever said on the show. And you have said a lot of pine leaf things, my friend, but that, I think, has to be the pine leafiest. That's a very scientific, very small joke that very few people are going to get, but those that get it are really enjoying that cicada humor you just brought out on the show.
I take it you don't have cicadas where you live?
Oh, I do. I do. So I got it.
Okay.
But again, the most pine leafest thing I think you've ever said. We're also going to get a PAX East live panel discussion, which is kind of cool. I don't remember them ever doing a panel at PAX East before. I know they have been at PAX East. They've had a booth and a presence at PAX East before, but I don't remember them ever doing a live panel. So it should be interesting to see what comes out of that. Then in Q2 of 23, we're getting a mini expansion. Yay.
A mini expansion?
Mini expansions. Yay.
Oh, okay.
Vecna Unleashed. Okay, I'm all for it. It's more.
You're all for Vecna, right?
Of course. Morgrave University versus Vecna. Always side with Vecna, always.
Yeah. Now, I must admit that I had been thinking that when I was trying to set up a schedule for my Storm Singer, one of the themes I had was to eventually try to have things tied in with the Morgrave University quest line. And I thought, well, okay, this is a stretch. I know that there are completely different eyes in the matter and are completely unrelated, but I will include the Isle of Dread in this list in here, and I find out, wait a minute.
Not so unrelated after all.
Not so unrelated after all.
So you were just thinking ahead without knowing what was coming ahead, but now you're...
Thinking ahead, yes.
Now you look like a genius. So yes, more Grave University. Well, I mean, we all know that. See your Cicadia joke from a little while ago to understand that. The pre-purchase for the mini expansion will happen in April. See the last mini expansion that we got. Pretty sure prices are going to be the same. So nothing, you shouldn't be too shocked at what we're going to get with that and what's going to come with it. I can almost guarantee you everything is going to be the same.
Oh, are you going to get a cosmetic Eye of Vecna or something?
Okay, that would be kind of amazing. I'm all for that. I mean, you could do so much stuff with Vecna. You could do an eye. You could do a hand. You could do... there's so many possibilities you could do. Forums are getting their long-awaited revamp, which has been talked about for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then let's look ahead to quarter 3, Hardcore Season 8. Gee, who didn't think that was coming? The Droam and the Raid update is also coming. We don't know what that is yet, but apparently there's going to be a raid, and there's going to be some quest, I'm guessing, that's going to revolve around the Droam, which we haven't really dealt with for quite a while. And then
I'm trying to remember who the Droam are.
They are in the very beginning of the game. I can't think of which quest. There's like a couple quests where you are doing stuff with the Droam. It's like real early game. I would have to look it up.
Real early game.
Yeah, it's early game. Then Crystal Cove will come back. Yay, Crystal Cove. And then quarter 4 to round out the year, we're going to get the Night Rebels again. Yeah. We're going to have an adventure pack. Then guess what? Hardcore Season 9 Redux again. Wow. Shock. There's going to be another Hardcore League. Shocked. And so soon after Hardcore Season 8. Wow, nobody saw that coming. And then
I'm probably not going to do much related to hardcore this year. After
could care less about hardcore. And then festivals, and that wraps up our roadmap. So now let's get into the producer's letter, as it were.
All right.
Greetings. I am producer Amanda Tolero Grow, and today I will be giving you a look at what's coming up for DDO in 2023. I hope that your New Year's has been off to a wonderful start, and we're looking forward to more fun and excitement in DDO this year. If you're new to DDO, are you coming back after a long break? Here's a recap of the latest things that have been added to the game. Last year, our story took us to the Isle of Dread, where in addition to fighting dinosaurs, players came face to face with the infamous D&D villain Vecna. We had an exciting hardcore season in the summer as players were hunted down by the deadly hounds throughout the game. We also added archetypes to the game, bringing new ways to play and build our DDO classes, and we introduced a major overhaul of the character bank with filters, customizable tabs, and expanded amounts of storage. Towards the end of 2022, we also debuted our latest adventure pack, which brought players back to Sharn to continue thwarting Vecna and others over the fate of the Planar Eyes. Now that I've covered the big beats of where we've been, let's talk about where we're going next. The game is going to celebrate its 17th anniversary this year with fun, free content. We will introduce 3 new archetypes as well as a free dungeon for all players to play. There is going to be some new cosmetic armor for the anniversary event. If you're watching the YouTube version, I have this on the screen now. If you're just listening to the audio, go over to the site. There will be a link to this so you can see this. The armor is okay, I guess. I mean, I'm not jumping up and down about it, but it's pretty cool. I don't like the helmet at all. Really don't like the helmet, but the armor's kind of cool looking. I mean, I would get a set and wear it. I could see a couple of my characters wearing this. It's definitely not pine leafy, I can tell you.
Yes, it's definitely not pine leafy.
I mean, more Drac style, but yeah. And then she goes on to say, the free quest will set the stage for the upcoming mini expansion in the spring. Players are going to help Morgrave University try to neutralize the threat posed by Vecna. The long-running story will reach a peak we know you'll want to be a part of. You also will have a lot more information about the story and content of the mini expansion as we get closer to it. After that, we'll be kicking off a new hardcore season. Shock. This summer with another rules change up, but we'll release more details about that later. And we spoke last year about work being done to reduce the lag and improve the game performance. And you saw some elements of that work get deployed in 2022. This work will continue in 2023. We have been focusing on the way the game communicates with itself, along with making some of the more complex systems more efficient behind the scenes. One reason for this focus is that we are able to measure more of the more complex systems with more efficiency behind the scenes. We're able to measure the impact it has before and after. And while no one fix will banish lag for good, don't we all know that?
Would.
Yeah, we do wish it would. We are able to see some of the benefits of these small but steady improvements over time. We know you want us to make lag reduction a focus, and we agree. There are more features and content happening later on in the year, such as a legendary revamp of the Droam content. There you go. It's going to be, they're going to legendaryfy the Droam content. And another hardcore, I didn't remember reading that in the letter, but there you go. And then another hardcore Redux season, but this should give you a good sense of what's in store. Does it really, though? For the first part of 2023 and beyond, we can't wait to see you in game. So yeah, there you go. I mean, does it really give us a good sense of what's in store for the first part of the year? Does it? Yeah, I'm sorry, SSG. I don't get what this was.
Yeah, the other game had a bit of a, well, it wasn't a more thorough letter, but it certainly had a more thorough roadmap.
Right. Yeah, okay. But there you go. There you go. Right. I mean, I'm excited for some stuff that's on the head. I mean, the Vecna Unleashed, I'm all for that. The Droam content, I'll probably end up running that since it's going to be legendary once we get up to that part with Patrick where I'm running stuff with Patrick. We're going to eventually get up into the legendary level, so I'm sure I'll get to experience that. Night Rebels, always love Night Rebels. The new adventure pack, God knows what it's going to be, but I'm sure, it could be interesting. 17th anniversary, like I said, not a big fan of that helmet, but I do like the armor set. I will do the anniversary event to get the armor set, and I'm interested to see what comes out of this PAX East panel, but as far as the letter itself, there's really not a meat in it. Sorry. Just stating my honest opinion. There's not a lot there.
Oh, well. Then let's go into the other news then, where free transfers are now available to Orion and Sarlona from February 8th through 20. So they're not available yet.
Yes, they're not available yet. They're going to start after the weekly maintenance on Wednesday, February the 8th. You will be able to transfer from Orion and Sarlona only for free. You still can transfer your character from one server to any other world, but you'll have to pay for it. If you want to go to Orion or Sarlona, you will get to do that for free. And this kind of ties back with back. They had some problems with transfers, and I think it was the last hardcore season. People wanted to transfer their hardcore characters off to one of these servers, and for some reason it wasn't working. They finally figured out that problem, so that's why they're giving you the option to do this for free.
Okay. So it has to do with a problem they had with the hardcore season, and so now they want to give those people the opportunity to bring in their characters.
Yes, so if you have your characters on hardcore, the hardcore server, and you wanted to go to Orion, however you pronounce that. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I've heard it pronounced Orion. I've heard it pronounced Orion. I've heard it pronounced Orion. So however you want to pronounce it, that world and Sarlona.
It probably depends on whether you have a Centric accent, a
That's very true. It could.
a Sharnian accent.
It's very, very good. That is true. So yeah, February 8th through the 28th. So it's going to start February 8th after the worlds come back up after the weekly maintenance on February the 8th. It's going to run through the 28th. So when the worlds come back up after the weekly maintenance on March 1st, this is going away. So plan accordingly. And just a reminder, there are a few things that do not transfer. So keep this in mind. Your friends list, your /ignore list, your guild name, level, your airship, amenities, membership ranks, guild-related benefits, all that, you're not going to transfer over. Anything that's in your reincarnation cache, items bid on are posted in the auction house. Any in-game mail that you have, shared account, bank, and crafting storage items, astral shard balance, creature companion stable, and your mount stable. So keep that in mind.
And that is starting next week on February 8th. Now, we also had, for the upcoming Update 58, another Lemania preview.
We do, and I forgot. I'm glad you added this to the show notes because I forgot to check the Lemania forums to see if there was anything happening.
Yep, they added a third archetype, it looks like.
Yeah, and I'm kind of excited.
How many are you excited for this one? Seems like you're already. I know you're really going for the Dark Hunter for a while.
I am. I'm still all about the Dark Hunter, but Acolyte of the Skin Warlock is kind of calling my name too, because it's based on the Fiend pack, which I always run a Fiend Warlock. I know everybody's like, what?
No shot.
You run a Fiend? What? So yeah, this is the Acolyte of the Skin. It's a new Warlock themed around the demonic power and transformation. So yeah, it's, like I said, it's going to be based off of your Fiend. It's the alternate version of that. Your skin has been grafted with demon skin, granting you some of its inherent defenses. You're going to gain a +1 profane bonus to fire resistance per your warlock level. So yeah.
This is quite crazy. It looks like all the new archetypes then are rather dark in a way.
They are, actually, yeah. I would say this one and the Ranger more so, but yeah. So definitely interesting, and you can go over and look at the show notes. We'll link to the Lemania forums for this. It's this one. You're getting a lot of fortification and fortitude saves, and then some boost to your fire spell powers. So this one is really focused on that because you're basically transforming into a demon, basically. So you're getting, more fortitude, more fortification. You're going to be immune to fear at tier 1. Your Hellish Rebuke is going to turn into an SLA, which is awesome. Your Eldritch Blast, melee and range attacks will reduce the will saving throw of the target by -1 for 6 seconds, and that'll stack up to 4 times. That's in tier 2. That's called Mind Wreck. So that's kind of cool. You can also get Night Shield as an SLA too, which is kind of awesome as well. So you don't have to take the Night Shield spell if you don't want. A lot of fire resistance. So yeah, I'm not as super excited as I am about the Dark Hunter, but I will probably run one of these two because I do like Warlocks as well. And usually my Warlocks tend to do a lot of fire damage anyway, so this kind of makes sense. And then there's a lot of necromancy stuff in here too, which then again, everybody's like, what? You want to run a necromancer? What? I know. Everybody's shocked right now. Everybody can't believe that I'm excited about this too. I know. I know you are. And I know Pine Leaf is like, meh. Again, not very Pine Leaf friendly, this one.
Well, then, and it looks like we'll have an opportunity to kill 10 rats.
You must have read something I didn't read because, like I said, I just now.
That's the new question section.
Oh, okay. I didn't click over. Like I said, I forgot to check Lemania Forum, so I'm glad Pine again. So let's take a look at this. This is all news to me. Yes, kill 10 rat. Okay, that's kind of funny, actually. I like the first response in the thread is this really the name of the quest? Is that tongue-in-cheek making fun of the first quest of most computer RPGs? I would hope it is.
Yes. Well, it has to be on that. And what I'm saying is only DDO will make a big, long, involved quest and name it Kill 10 Rats.
Yep, exactly.
Yes.
See, and now we can see, we used to be able to say DDO was one of the rare MMOs where you didn't have to kill 10 rats. And now we can't say that anymore.
We can't say that anymore.
So yeah, this, like I said, is all just up on Lemania now. So keep that in mind. All of this could change, but I'll link all the show note in the show notes. I'll link all of this stuff so you can check it out. But yeah, so new Warlock. So if you didn't listen to the last episode where we talked about Lemania, you're going to get the Blight Caster Druid, the Dark Hunter Ranger, and the the Acolyte of the Skin Warlock are 3 new archetypes that we're getting.
All right. And that's the news for DDO this week. So let's go and see what's on the tabletop. Where Gen Con badges are now available for registration, and apparently there aren't any limits on attendance this year, or at least not from COVID.
No COVID restrictions this year. So we'll talk about that in a second because I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, Gen Con, of course, if you're live in a cave or something and you're like, what the heck is Gen Con? Gen Con is you'll hear a lot about Gen Con on this show. If you're new to this podcast, you're going to hear a lot about Gen Con.
Oh, Gen Con, that's that convention that's held in Lake Geneva.
Exactly. Yeah, it's that one. Yeah, it's the longest running tabletop convention in North America. Badge registration is now open. You can go over to gencon.com and grab your badges. It actually started Sunday, January 29th is when they went on sale. David Hope, the president of Gen Con, said, we're thrilled to return to Indianapolis for Gen Con 2023, which has been our home for the last 20 years.
Hold on, they're thrilled to return to Indianapolis?
That's what he said. He said they're thrilled. Yeah, there's a lot going on with that, but yes. We'll see. We'll talk more about that too, because they've only got a couple years left on the contract, but we'll see. So Gen Con is August, so hurry up and get those tickets. If you're interested in badges and you go, how much is it going to cost me to go to Gen Con? If you want to go for all 4 days, it's going to cost you $135. That is the 4-day price. $70 for Thursday, $70 for Friday, $85 for Saturday, $17 for Sunday. And if you work in a game store or something that is related to that effect, you can go to what they call Trade Day, which is on Wednesday before Gen Con actually starts. It's all to do with retail and stuff like that. You have to be in that area to be able to get a Trade Day badge. Those are $235. Gen Con online only is free. So if you can't attend in person and you'd like to do Gen Con online, which they do a lot of stuff like that, that is going to be available starting May 7th. And then housing registration will begin noon Eastern on February the 12th. Event registration will open up May 21st. So there you go. And I did apply for my press badge again. Have not heard back yet. Sometimes it takes a little while for them to get back on that. So hopefully we'll get a press badge again and we'll cover the show, which if you're wanting to know the dates, August 3rd, 2023 through Sunday, August 6th. 2023 is the dates for Gen Con 2023. The past, I don't know how many years we've covered this press. I talked to a lot of game companies. We do interviews with them. It goes up on YouTube so you can see the interviews. It's kind of a cool thing that we do as part of the site, since we're, like I said, if you maybe are new to the podcast, which I think we have picked up some new people. So hello, welcome to the crazy world of DDO players, where we're really different, as you're finding out.
Like we cover things like
Gen Con and tabletop and sometimes movies and comic books and whatever else we feel like talking about. Yeah, we're a really strange podcast, but here we are.
Well, Gen Con does have a very long history with D&D.
It does. So Gen Con kind of makes sense. But yeah, so I have applied. So hopefully we will get that. Even if I don't get a press badge, I'm going to go. I go to Gen Con every year. But the past 8-9 years, I've been going as press, I think, something like that. I can't remember exactly. It's been a long time. But yeah, this year, with the news of, COVID-19 kind of slowing down ish. They are having no COVID restrictions. They do say the health and safety of Gen Con participants remains a top priority for all the convention organizers. Gen Con is continuing to monitor the guidance of Marion County Department of Public Health, which Marion County is in Indianapolis, or Indianapolis is in Marion County. So they're looking to the Department of Public Health and CDC guidelines regarding appropriate safety measures as the convention date nears. But as of January 2023, Gen Con will not require any proof of vaccination or any mask at the 2023 convention. They are continuously monitoring the situation. Organizers do reserve the right to change this policy if conditions warrant at any time, including up to the start date of the convention. So as of right now, there's no vaccination requirements, no mask. So people that couldn't go last year, because last year you had to have proof of vaccination, you'll be able to go this year.
Okay.
Just don't be stupid. Let's all be cool. We're all happy to get back to a regular Gen Con with no mask and no weird stuff, but just don't be stupid, and just remember, COVID's not going away. It's never going to go away. It's still here. So keep that in mind. Clean your hands regularly with soap. Use hand sanitizer. Blah, 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 blah. Just don't be dumb, people. Don't ruin this for all of us, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Okay. We were talking about Gen Con, one of the most notorious conventions for some sort of crud.
Yep, every year. But I must say, last year was the first year that I did not come home with Gen Con crud. So yes, that says something.
Restrictions.
That says something about mask. That's all I'm going to say. I didn't get con crud last year. I usually always do, but did not this year, or last year. So take that as you may.
Then let's go and look at The Doomed, apocalypse horror coming from Osprey Games.
Yep, shut up and take my money, Osprey. Here you go. Yeah, this is going to invite players to engage in monstrous, logic-defying horrors in a science fiction setting by fielding small warbands of hunters equipped with very high-tech weapons. This is going to be a scenario-based miniatures game with encounters defined by the setting and the nature of the horror involved. So each scenario is going to have like a different monster and a different horror, and it's going to be set in a different setting, so you can kind of tie them all together. Many of the horrors will actually break the rules of the game in some way, so it's going to force your players to develop many different strategies to combine the horror while simultaneously competing against one another's warbands. So that's going to be interesting. Scenarios can be combined into ongoing campaigns if you would like. MSRP on this is $35, and just like most of Osprey's other war games, this is going to be miniatures agnostic, so you can basically use any miniatures you want. So it's not, it's like Osprey is not going to sell a miniature. It's not like Warhammer, where you have to use that miniature for the game. That's the only one that's going to work. No.
Is that literally true? I know that's I want you to think that, but
it used to be, but not anymore. Not with the dawn of 3D printers. No, it's not. You can basically print your own stuff and play Warhammer with non-Games Workshop stuff, but don't let Games Workshop tell me. I'm sorry, Games Workshop, don't come after me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it. But yeah, so they do a lot of like war games like this. Like they have Dracula's America. They have the Silver Bayonet. I can't think of the others. There's 3 or 4 of them.
Well, the Osprey game I can think of doesn't have miniatures at all in it because that's Undaunted.
Yeah. Oh, right. Well, yeah, but that's more of a card-based game. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very much.
This is actually a miniature war game. So this you will have to use miniatures, but you can use any miniatures that you want. There's no actually set release date on this. Just sometimes early this year. So that could mean Q1, Q2. Who knows? Once we find out a day, I will let you know. I did reach out to Osprey. We sort of kind of have a relationship with Osprey. Like, we used to have a really good relation with them, and then their PR guy left, and then the new guy was like, nah, I don't have time to deal with you, basically. And then another new guy came along, and he was pretty cool, and we got some like PDFs from him, and then I don't know if he's still there or not, so I did reach out to him to find out about this, because I'm super excited about this. Regardless, I'm probably going to buy this if we don't get a copy of this for review.
Right.
And I have a friend that I know is going to be excited about this too if he knows about it, because we are going to play this. So get ready. You know who you are. I think you listen. Sometimes you listen. So
sometimes
you are. You're welcome.
All right. Then let's see what's on the screen. Where apparently they have released another trailer for Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves.
I mean, at this point, does anybody really care? With the whole OGL mess, there's so much bad will towards WotC and D&D at this point. I actually found this by accident. The only way I even knew this trailer was released, because they didn't make like a big hubbub about it. The only way I knew it was released is I actually got it as a YouTube ad.
Okay.
I was watching a video, and all of a sudden an ad came on, and I was getting ready. You got to wait a couple seconds and then you can skip the ad. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is the D&D. What is this? And then I watched it, and I'm like, that's not the same trailer they showed. So then I searched for it, and then I'm like, well, this is a whole new trailer. So I've linked it over on the site if you want to see it. This does showcase a couple of the new monsters you're going to be seeing in the movie. They show you a better shot of the Displacer Beast. They kind of sort of show that in the first trailer. So you get a good shot of the Displacer Beast.
A good shot of the Displacer Beast means that the Displacer Beast is doing something wrong.
Well, you see it for a second better than you saw it before. I'll put it that way. Yeah. I mean, it is a Displacer Beast after all. But you see an owlbear, and of course you see the red dragon. You see a good shot of the red dragon this time. That was kind of hinted at the first time too. You see a much better, and this has more action in it too. This is basically aimed at the action of the movie, and not so much as a little teaser that the movie's coming. So if you kind of want to see kind of what's in store, check it out. If you're going to go, the movie is going to open at the South by Southwest Festival, and then it's going to hit your local movie theaters on March 31st.
And one of the things, and you get the impression here that this thing seems to be based on the misadventures of a party more than anything else, which is probably more in line with how D&D
that's
campaigns
true.
often go.
Yeah, I'm hopelessly optimistic, I guess, because it can't be any worse than the other 3 movies, right? He says jokingly, knowing it could be worse.
Now,
but
I only saw the first one, if I remember correctly.
Well, you've seen enough then.
The
second one is absolutely horrible. The third one is horrendous. The third one is kind of like the edition that shall not be named. I kind of try to block it out of my memory totally.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, you know why the edition? I think I finally figured out why the edition in question is so bad that it makes you block it from your memory.
I mean, how long do you have?
I think Steve Jackson Games had cornered the market on good editions of that number. So therefore,
okay, maybe.
Yeah, I think that must be what happened.
I mean, there's way more than that, but sure, we'll go with that.
We'll go with that.
We should maybe do a show on that sometimes, like how bad that sucked and why it sucked so bad. I mean, can't do any more to damage our relationship with WotC, now can we?
Well, we could say when WotC wisely decided to leave it behind.
There you go. There you go.
Let's head into our weekend game. Jurek, what were you up to?
Yeah, absolutely not a thing. So my year's starting off great. Yay! I'm on a roll. Yeah, no. Nothing.
Hey, we did something together last week.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, we did. We did actually do some Isle of Dread. I forgot.
Right.
I can't believe I forgot about that. So, okay, yay, I did actually play a video game. Okay, that's like 2 weeks in a row now. Okay, I'm on a roll. Good.
Yeah.
I don't suck at life as bad as I thought I did then. So, okay. All right. Cool. 2 weeks in a row I played video games. All right. Sweet. And both times they were D&D, or DDO, I should say. So, yeah.
Ooh.
And I'm going to play DDO Friday night, too. So that's going to be 3 weeks in a row. So there you go.
Ooh.
Exactly. So, yeah, go ahead and tell them about Isle of Dread.
All right. Yes, we went to the Isle of Dread. First thing it's been so long since we played, I wasn't sure what was going on in there. And I thought I logged into the right character, but
I wish
I didn't.
I wish I would have been streaming that, because it was quite interesting, because I'm like, I don't remember you being on this character. And then we weren't on the same quest or anything, and I'm like, you're not on the right character.
Yeah,
you didn't play this guy.
It was, and the first is because I thought I was on my Warlock at the time, and so I'm trying to play a Stormsinger as a Warlock.
Yeah, because you kept talking about Warlock stuff, and I'm like, okay, you're on a Storms. Like, why are you? Okay, I mean, if that's how you want to play your Stormsinger, sure.
Yeah,
and then literally, I could. Without, seeing, but I could see the light bulb just pop on above Pineley's head. He's like, wait a minute! This is not my Warlock!
And it did, and what really bad is when I tried to log to my Warlock, I actually have 2 Warlocks with the same name spelled differently.
Mm-hmm.
That really added to the confusion.
And then he's like, wait a minute, I'll be back.
So, yeah, that was a really...
But we finally sorted it out and actually played.
And we finally sorted out and took care of some bullywugs and actually finished the first half of the adventure, because we also managed to...
We did, yeah.
Take out the dread enemy and was able to unlock the way home. But of course, I'm sure that we're going to be staying there for a while to take care of some other more dinosaur-related quests.
There is plenty of more to do on the Isle of Dread, so yeah.
Right. So I did that. Also, my Stormsinger then started running Isle of Dread in earnest for my solo run through there. I had to rerun Crustacean in there because I was doing a YouTube series with the Stormsinger. So I redid the Crustacean on there. Then I went and took care of the pirates at the north, and decided also, because I had taken the Bullywug quest by accident when I was with Drac anyway, so I also did the Bullywug quest while I was out there. Since those two are right next to each other, even though you have to come all the way back to go all the way up, so that saved me the trouble of going back and going in again. And then on the Mania, I killed 10 rats.
Oh, so you actually did the quest?
Yes, I actually did that quest.
So tell us about it.
Well, apparently it involves our old fine friend, the Codex pages.
Shocked.
And a rat gets affected by a Codex page.
Okay. All right.
and so tries to form an army of rats. And now you have to hunt down the leaders of this rat army. You're trying to hunt down the Rat King, and then in there you have to kill the leaders that the Rat King brought up. So I guess there must be 10 leaders in there, because I completely lost track of how many rats I killed in there, but it's a lot more than 10 rats.
I was about to say, I'm assuming there must be 10 leaders, so that's where the 10 rats come from.
Yeah, those must be the 10 rats that you kill.
Gotcha. All right, well, cool.
Yeah, I did not properly
looking forward to
keep count of what was in there, because let's just say I was surprised on how big, long, involved this quest was, because I was expecting a quick one, because to kill 10 rats, what could be simpler than a quest called that? And it made me wonder, of course, how many quests do we have in DDO and Lotro where they both have a quest of the exact same name?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Because Lotro has one called this, and it is literally killing 10 rats in there, so there was very definitely a tongue-in-cheek jab at that.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, it has to be.
Yeah, because you're in the middle of Isengard, which is a place where you can't go around doing things like killing orcs and goblins and stuff like that when you're in the basement of Isengard at this particular point, because the quest giver was an Uruk. So killing 10 rats, I guess they decided, all right, let's make fun of that quest while asking you to do at least something that involves some combat. Then on tabletop, I was playing quite a bit of Rolling Realms, and also I played a round of Paperback Adventures. And finally, because it's February now, February rolling in, I'm starting up my second set of game runs for Undaunted Stalingrad, because I'm trying to do 3 a month scenarios for Undaunted Stalingrad. And that's my week in gaming. We currently have 14 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support DDO players, you can go to the donations page. You can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. Your money will be used for our podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows. If you'd like to send... Oh, hold on. We do have an email this week. I'm just so used.
Yeah, I can say usually we don't have emails, but we do have an email. No comments, but we have an email.
Yes. With respect to the OGL, comments about DDO Players episode 322, Hasbro's OGL critical failure track. I think the folks that attempted to update the OGL from Hasbro didn't realize that gamers are all rules lawyers and would completely pick this thing apart and find all the loopholes and suggestive synergies to completely tear down all the motives that they may have had behind the changes. Kerkros.
I agree. Well said. I didn't think about that, but yes.
Yeah, there are a number of rules lawyers involved in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes. Well, let's leave it at that. Yes, there are. And I don't have to say anything more. Just go listen to that episode if you want to hear me rant about the OGL. There was a rant. There was a rant. There might have been a few rants. But
there might have been a few rants.
It's a really long episode, but a really good episode. We did get... I got a couple other just people sending me messages about that episode. People really liked that episode, which I'm happy about, because I was kind of afraid, because it was a lot of information and it was super long. It was like 2 hours and 5 minutes long. So it was a long episode, but everybody that has reached out to me has said they enjoyed that episode. So I appreciate that. And I know Beaker does as well. So thanks for all the kind words.
If you would like to send us some kind words, you can send it to podcast@ddoplayers.com. The Players Alliance has 2 shows on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. US Eastern Time. We have DDO Players News, though it's not always on Wednesday, but that's another matter. And on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. US Eastern Time, we have Loach Players News. You can join us for our shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Pilot Needles reminding you to quest responsibly.